I can tell you how excited I am, which is beyond. There isn't anything more exciting than being in a cast like that. Vanessa Kirby, Eben Moss-Bachrach, Joe Quinn, and our director, Matt Shackman. And to be invited into a family like that.
Always ask, man, why does this keep happening? Why does Pedro Pascal keep getting cast? Why do executives in Hollywood keep casting Pedro Pascal?
With both Disney and Marvel Studios scrambling to lock down the July 25th release of Fantastic Four, things behind the scenes are getting messy. Real messy. Between constant test screenings, chaotic reshoots, and now Pedro Pascal making headlines for getting too political, fans are seriously starting to wonder what's going on. He's an actor, so maybe stick to acting, right? This whole thing is spinning out of control. Now, let's talk about why so many are calling him Pedro Ziegler. It's not random. It's because he's acting just like Rachel Ziegler did. Pedro's been pushing his political views while promoting a superhero movie. Not the time, not the place. This is Fantastic Four, not a campaign speech. It's a Marvel movie, meant to entertain, not preach. And even Pedro himself has admitted that there's going to be some gender politics mixed into the storyline. Yep, it's already confirmed. But here's where things get wild. Bob Iger and the Marvel team are now rushing to tone that stuff down during the final reshoots and edits. They're scrambling to make those parts less obvious before the film hits theaters next month. It's like they're trying to undo all the noise before it's too late. And now comes the real twist. Disney just did something to Pedro Pascal that's raising eyebrows everywhere. What they pulled is super ironic. And it's giving people flashbacks to how Rachel Ziegler got handled months ago. Are they trying to send a message to him the same way they did with her? The pattern is too obvious to ignore. Let's break this down, because there's already trouble brewing for Fantastic Four. One major red flag? The trailer. It's just not hitting like it should. For a Marvel Studios production, fans should be hyped, but instead, crickets! This isn't another Snow White disaster, sure, but for a reboot of one of Marvel's most iconic teams, the buzz should be through the roof. And it's not even close. Now, add Pedro Pascal to the mix. With both Disney and Marvel already catching heat over the film, Pedro's recent political outbursts have only made things worse. And now a major behind-the-scenes move just dropped. Disney actually punished Pedro in a way nobody saw coming.
They're also infused with a lot of light blue.
Well, yeah. Shh. Ooh, something we can't talk about? No.
I've decided we can't.
Oh, all right, that's fine. That's fine.
Yep, sources say the top dogs at Disney, including CEO Bob Iger, top execs, producers, and even the board, held a meeting and all agreed on one thing. Pedro's media run needed to be cut short. They've slashed the number of interviews and canceled a bunch of his scheduled TV appearances meant to promote Fantastic Four. That's right. They're sidelining one of their own lead stars. Why? Because the political drama surrounding him is dragging down the movie's reputation. Disney's not playing around anymore. They're telling Pedro to cool it with the politics before it messes with the film's box office even more. Marvel's scrambling to get this train back on track, but the damage might already be done. So here's where it really blows up. Behind closed doors, things have gotten tense between Pedro Pascal and the Disney team. During internal arguments tied to the movie's marketing and press tour, Pedro flat out refused to tone down his political talk. He fired back at execs, telling them it's a free country and he'll say what he wants.
Return of the MCU. What? Oh my god. They made Invisible Woman a girl this time on a team that contains 3 other men. I just can't believe it. Marvel has gone full wokey-yoki again. Like, bro, I don't understand the rage debate here. Are you upset Sue Storm may be the leader of the Fantastic Four? Are you upset Silver Surfer, the character everyone around the world totally cares about, is a woman now? Like, you would think that these woke YouTubers would be happy that they got what they wanted, a full-blown Fantastic Four with gender and skin-accurate actors, but even that, they somehow try to finesse wokeness.
That bold stance sparked a full-blown emergency meeting over at Disney. The result? Several of Pedro's appearances on TV and online got canceled immediately. His presence promoting Fantastic Four just got cut in a major way. And this move, it mirrors exactly what happened with Rachel Zegler not long ago. No shocker here, Pedro's a huge supporter of Rachel and her political views too. And get this, Rachel's name even got dragged into the arguments. Pedro reportedly told Disney execs they treated her unfairly when she lost multiple roles after Snow White. He was defending her and challenging them in the same breath. This back and forth made it clear. Disney's not just dealing with a marketing issue. They're dealing with a star who's clashing hard with their whole approach. Now, let's be real. Disney isn't making these cuts for no reason. They know they need Fantastic Four to succeed badly. This isn't just about one movie. It's about saving Marvel's momentum heading into 2026, with projects like Doomsday lined up. They need a win desperately.
David Tennant wanted to play Reed Richards, but Marvel picked Pedro Pascal instead. At London's MCM Comic-Con, Tennant shared his hope to star as Mr. Fantastic in the Fantastic Four: First Steps. He praised Pascal, saying, "If it has to be someone, I'm very happy it's Pedro Pascal." Now fans are counting the days to the film's July 25th release, excited for this new take on the Marvel classic. Could Tennant have taken the superhero role to new heights? Well, the wait is on. Fantastic Four hits theaters.
And with the Ironheart series dropping on June 24th, some fans are worried it could add even more drama and division. Will it push people away from the Fantastic Four hype? Maybe not in a huge way, but enough to make a dent? Absolutely. Now, here's the real twist. Pedro Pascal is finally facing some consequences from Disney, and it's all because he wouldn't keep the politics off the stage while promoting Fantastic Four. After pushing his views during interviews and social media posts, Disney's finally stepping in, but only now. Why the delay? Simple. Analysts and producers just realized Pedro might actually be hurting the movie's chances of success. Behind the scenes, there's already serious tension brewing between Pedro and Disney CEO Bob Iger. Sources say Bob was the one who personally pushed for Pedro to be pulled from key promotional events. Yep. There's a growing grudge between the star and the top boss. Pedro was reportedly yanked from interviews and TV spots where he was supposed to talk up Reed Richards, his character, and where the film's gender politics angle would have been highlighted. But instead of boosting hype, that strategy was starting to backfire big time, so Disney pulled the plug. And here's the bombshell even Kevin Feige gave in. He backed Bob Iger and agreed to tone down the messaging in the film. That's huge. The agenda's being watered down just weeks before release, all because the backlash is becoming too real. All of this is happening right in the middle of heavy reshoots and test screenings that are still going on, even with the July 25th release date just around the corner. With time ticking down, Marvel is trying to clean up the mess and dodge a full-on PR disaster. Now let that sink in for a second. Fantastic Four is still being worked on, with just weeks to go before release.
I could find and show you like the psychotic example, this physical example that I have now that I have to do to learn my lines. Look,
what do you got there, Pedro?
So this is this like psycho first letter of every
Gibberish.
word.
Oh, I use that you do next to the.
You just use the first letter of each word, and in kind of these sort of like towers, these like columns, I guess. And then it's this very, very tedious way of like making yourself learn the line. If you're in a scramble and trying to sort of like learn text really quickly.
Marvel's scrambling to fix things last minute, while over at DC, Superman is already wrapped up and ready. James Gunn even confirmed it. Done and dusted. That alone puts pressure on Marvel, because now Fantastic Four has to compete with all the hype building around Superman. And honestly, that might be a real problem. Why? Because there's a growing vibe that Superman could end up outshining Fantastic Four at the box office. And let's be real, Pedro Pascal didn't help. He openly admitted the movie's straying from the original comic book material and leaning into gender politics instead. Fans aren't loving it, and his comments have already put a cloud over the film's momentum. The stuff Pedro's been saying, it's got people turning their heads for the wrong reasons. Instead of hyping up the character or storyline, it's creating controversy that just keeps dragging down excitement. It's like he's weighing down the movie before it even hits theaters. And get this, despite Disney cutting back his appearances and warning him about the backlash, Pedro straight up told executives he has zero plans to tone it down. He's doubling down on the message that gender politics should be part of the story. Wild, right? Now here's something else to watch. Pedro's deal with Disney is reportedly pricey and complicated. Insiders say details about that contract are gonna surface soon, and they could be explosive. Oh, and don't forget about Joseph Quinn, who plays Johnny Storm. He's reportedly siding with Pedro, fully backing his stance and challenging Disney too. This whole situation just keeps heating up. And we're not even at opening night yet. Now let's be real, Joseph Quinn siding with Pedro Pascal, not shocking at all. This is the same guy who publicly said Johnny Storm needs a full-on makeover from his classic version. According to Joseph, they're dialing back the whole womanizer thing from the 2005 and 2007 films and the comics. He basically said Johnny's no longer going to be that confident, flashy ladies' man we all remember. And fans are not vibing with it. They're watering him down, taking the edge off a character who always brought that fire, literally and personality-wise. And honestly, that change is just adding to the growing list of things people feel are going wrong with this version of Fantastic Four. Let's face it, this movie has one shot. One shot to finally give fans a real solid Fantastic Four film after so many misfires. If this one doesn't land, it might be game over for solo Fantastic Four movies. No second chances, no reboots, it's now or never. Even with all their flaws, the 2005 and 2007 versions at least nailed the team's dynamic and stayed somewhat loyal to the source. Johnny Storm felt like Johnny Storm. The energy, the arrogance, the fire, literally and figuratively, it was there. This new take, it's making people nervous, and not in a good way. So now, with Pedro causing friction, Joseph backing him, Disney scrambling, and Marvel still deep in reshoots with just weeks to go, this whole thing feels like it could go either way. Will they pull it off? Or will this be another what could have been moment in Marvel history? Let me know what you think down in the comments. Do you support Disney's move to check Pedro? Or are they being too controlling? And do you think Fantastic Four still stands a chance? If you like this breakdown, make sure to hit that thumbs up, share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe for more updates. Catch you in the next one.